Hey everybody, it's Dr. Kelly with your next Learn It moment. This is like 6-minute abs, only it's 7 minutes long, and we talk about education and engagement. Hey everybody, it's Dr. Kelly. I used to be a teacher in the toughest classrooms in the worst neighborhoods with the most difficult students. And what I learned there changed everything I thought I knew about content creation and delivery. Over the past 25 years, I've taught thousands of students, both in person and online. And what I can tell you is that effective online engagement is the hardest thing you'll ever do without guidance. So I've dedicated this channel to showing people exactly how to capture attention, hold engagement, and create transformation. Every single part of it. I love learning, I love teaching and making an impact, and that's all you're gonna find right here. All right, here we go. Let's get into the most powerful thing you can do when you're creating, and in fact, I mean, maybe it's not the most powerful if you're like already a master, because you probably already do this, but if you're just like really trying to work out content creation, really trying to work out maximum delivery, then this is the game changer. This one here, when you implement this one thing, everything will start to come together. What is that one thing? It's your hook. Why do you do anything? You really have to wonder, why do people do what they do? They do what they do because they value whatever it is they're doing, whatever interest it is that they're engaged in, whether it's sitting on the couch or whether it's working out, whether it's spending time with your family, whatever that is, you value that and that's why you do it. Your life will mimic your values, and you need to understand your consumer of your content is no different. So when you're producing some content, you want to make sure that you've linked this content to why this consumer would want to watch it, want to consume it. If you haven't done that, you will have a massive drop rate. You will not progress forward with completion of whatever the heck it is you're building out there. You have to understand right now in the marketplace, there's a massive disconnect between content and perceived consumer value. Your hook is going to marry those two together. Do you get how crucial that is? When I see something come up, my first question is, why the hell do I want to watch this? I got like a 15 to 20, maybe 30-second attention span. Of course, everybody, all of you already know Instagram attention spans, Facebook attention spans. We're into like 6 to 12 seconds. On YouTube, it might be a little longer, but man, if you don't get that hook in fast and sink it, you're gonna lose them. They're gonna go somewhere else because somebody else is planting hooks. So if you're not gonna plant that hook, they're going somewhere else. Just know that right off the bat. So here's the question you have now. How the heck do you make good hooks? What do you do to make a hook that actually people want to consume your content? I liken this to if you're walking down a hallway and you got a rope. Are you gonna push that rope down the hallway, or are you gonna clip it on your belt and just walk down the hallway? That's the difference between pushing and pulling. If you don't have a hook, you're pushing. It's like traditional education where you have something and you're gonna ram it down their throat whether they like it or not, golly darn it. Yeah, that's traditional education, and you know how that went. We're changing all of that. That's gone the way of the dodo. The new type of education that is happening is engagement learning. It's engaged, where people are like, yeah, I wanna know this. I can design my own degree and I can give you better service because I don't need a lot of the garbage that's being forced down our throats anymore. But that's another conversation. I got a little distracted there for a second. But you needed to know why the hook is so important, because what you're gonna be doing now is putting hooks in all of your content. It gives you a much better clarity when you're developing it. When you're developing content, you're like, okay, so I knew I was gonna do this before I made a title. I knew I needed to do a video on the power of a hook before I even came up with a title of the hook. Before I came up with the hook, I knew I needed a video on the hook. Why? Because it's crucial. It's crucial for you and it's crucial for your consumer. It gives you clarity on what type of content you're going to create. And then on the receiving side, it gives the consumer a lean forward kind of, oh, hold it. Where's my pen? Where's my paper? Where's my phone? How do I save this here for my view later? Do you get it? When people lean into your content, you've made the content relevant. You've made the content of interest. You've showed the consumer how whatever you've got and whatever they got, how they work together and why you'd want to know that content. So if you're producing anything at all, so let's say, let's dial this all the way back to give you the idea of how important this is, because you can use this with your kids at home. How do you create hooks? You say, well, you know what? We have to have a talk. Maybe it's something like turning your electronic devices off so that you could have. And I mean, I'm just spitballing off the top of my head. I didn't actually write this example down, but let's say that you wanted to spend more time reading, right? Less time on your electronics, more time reading, and you were having a family discussion. And I know some of you are going crazy right now saying this is totally a mythical situation, but it has happened to me. It happened to me. Maybe you'd want to put a hook in something like, hey, daughter A, I know that you've always wanted to do this. I want to show you how you could get to this by doing this. Do you understand? People will act in their own values. Right now, the value is staying connected, but they don't see a connection. Maybe it's connected to their friends, but they don't see a connection between what you're bringing to the table, what you're asking of them, and what they want. Your job is to marry it together. Whatever they want, whatever you got, your job is to help them marry it together. And that's the power of the hook. So you're going to go out there and you're going to create some awesome new hooks. So here's your action assignment right off the bat. The action assignment is you're going to go get some content that you've already done. You're going to pull it up. You're going to rehash it. Great if you've already got something 5, 6, 7 minutes long. And I want you to look at that content and see if you've got a hook in there. If you don't have a hook, and typically you would want to go like title of the document, intention behind why you're doing the document, and then the hook of the document, and then the actual document. That's how we lay out all of our content here. So when you go, you grab that, you look at the hook, you're like, oh, this isn't very hooky. It doesn't really speak to my audience. My audience is different. I want you to create some awesome hooks for content that you already have. And then you're going to go and grab some content you don't like. You think it's kind of like, that was kind of crappy. Oh boy, a little bit embarrassed about that content. Perfect. Grab that. See what you can do with hooks for that. I'm telling you, you start putting hooks into everything you create, you're going to view creation differently, and the quality on the other side is going to be 10 times better. All right, guys, go out there, learn it, and do it. We'll see you on the other side.